YOPO. Do-do-do-do-do, YOPO. Do-do-do-do-do, YOPO. Do-do-do-do-do, YOPO. Do-do-do-do-do, YOPO. You only podcast once with Jevon, Daly, and Sarah Joey.
Say that again. Wait till I what? Go ahead, say it.
I'm not going to.
We had our first fight this morning.
Posy vibes from now on.
Sarah said maybe one day I'll die a fiery death. Like those stupid, you mean like those, oh jeez. Take two. The YOPO theme.
At least we didn't get through an hour this time. It's much more fun to roast each other than it is to roast other people.
Well, sometimes you think you're roasting someone for fun in a safe space.
I'm just saying that some people deserve it, and this particular person did not.
Don't.
In this instance.
I know.
We almost YOPO Ono'd ourselves this morning. I was very close to
I know you were. I know what
pulling up my RV and driving out of town.
You probably one day maybe you'll live in an RV by yourself.
Ooh, I would love that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Like an Airstream?
One of my dreams is to get a camper for sure.
Yeah, an Airstream.
No, I don't care about it being an Airstream. The R-Pods are cool, but they're really expensive. So I think no R-Pods. If I'm going to spend a lot of money on something, it's not going to be cordless headphones.
Ooh.
Like you can buy a really cheap pair of Bluetooth headphones.
I heard the AirPods are not very comfortable.
Did you hear that from your daughter that has them?
No, I heard that from Selena.
You know, we've come full circle with those though now. Have you seen the ads with the cords on them? Like they sell the cords for the AirPods now?
Obviously, because
So funny.
just like speakers get big and then they get small again and then they get big again and then they get small again and then finally someone says, you know what? Size does matter in the speaker world.
Fair enough. But the AirPods, that's probably a quick segue into what we're going to be talking about today, is identity. Ooh, that was good. We didn't even plan to do that in sync, and it worked.
Identity? Well, I think, I know I'm not supposed to, it's bad for your voice to clear your throat, everyone, by the way. You need to go like this next time. Oh, we've already done this. I've already done this.
He's in a loop, guys.
Me being pretentious. This was pre-recorded a month ago.
Nope, today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We're here back at the Grind Coffee Roasters
This might
in
be
Bluffton.
this might be the last time we're here, though.
I don't think it's going to be the last time we're here, but maybe we're going to try out some new locations for sure.
Well, we were talking to our friend Christopher, actually. I think he prefers, you know how some people like prefer to be called by their full Christian name.
Mm-hmm. Or Christopher name.
Christopher name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know how sometimes you say, hey, Dick, and they're like, no, my name's Richard. You know, doesn't that happen?
Ooh, have I told you that?
No.
So my dad's a Richard, and he's rich. For the most part, everyone calls him Rich.
He goes by Rich.
Family and very close friends call him Richie. But that's like off the table for anyone who doesn't know him
like
super well.
I couldn't be like, yo, Richie. Hey,
yeah, no.
Richie.
Mm-mm.
Hey.
And then there was one older woman who went to the church that I grew up going to.
By older, do you mean 40?
No, she was like, when I was a kid, like in her 70s.
So now
she was very entertaining and amusing, but
122 now.
Did you just make an old joke about me?
La 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 la.
Everyone knows Jevon's old AF, so it's fine.
La la.
Young at heart.
There's nothing you can say at this point that has to hurt my feelings that you haven't already done this morning.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead, Sarah.
You're the victim now.
Go
see.
Ahead, Sarah.
Instead of the poor guy you were ripping to shreds this morning.
Oh, jeez. I just, you know
we
what?
We can't YOPO Ono each other. We need a pact.
Yeah, really, jeez. No, we already have one.
But back to my story that you didn't let me finish.
About Richie, which is really about Christopher.
So, Rich is my dad, but this woman, I can't even remember her name, which is so sad, called him Dick. And he hated it.
But back in the 1920s when she was a kid, that was socially acceptable. Right. That was a really popular name.
Like there
Fred.
are not many Dicks around anymore, for sure.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
Yep. Hey, did you hear those old people today doing their podcast in the grind and imitating Cardi B? Cardi B for president 2020, by the way.
Actually, my boss bought me a new notebook this year that I use during our staff meetings on Monday or Tuesday. This week it'll be Tuesday because I have the day off due to Martin Luther King Jr. Day. But it has Cardi B on it, and it says, oh.
I thought it said Cardi B for president 2020.
No, Cardi B's not old enough to be president, though.
She's running for, like, a seat.
Yeah, but, she's not old enough to be president. You have to be 35.
I already knew that, obviously. And born. I'm not going to
Actually,
I'm not making any political jokes.
This is a really great conversation to have because my 35th birthday is coming up in, let's see, how old am I? So 2021, I'll be 35.
Do you want mags
at the end
for
of the
your
year.
Do you want mags for your wheelchair? Skyway mags for your wheelchair? You want yellow
I actually
ones?
want the hover round, and I want to take it to the Grand Canyon, like those commercials.
Hover round?
Hover round.
What the heck is a hover round?
The motorized scooter.
You would know, because you old. Says the guy with the beard that looks like Robert Redford in that one movie. What's the one movie where he's out
Jeremiah
in the wilderness?
Johnson?
Yeah, dude. God. Handsome man right there.
Oh, yeah. Robert Redford was a total smoke show. Weird noises here on
Anyway, Christopher, before we were derailed by Sarah Joey trying to take over the podcast this morning, we just want to make a shout out or give a shout out, make a shout out. No,
I think either is fine.
We want to give a shout out to Christopher Kazaya for all of his mentoring and just support.
Yes.
Of the podcast. He's sent Sarah some weird pictures on Facebook Messenger, but that's fine. I don't think anyone else saw those except for me and Christopher. Wow. Impressive
array of great products that you offer at Burke's Pharmacy.
Right. No, I was talking about all the pictures of him sleeping after he ingested said products because his wife, Angela, takes all these wonderful pictures of him asleep all the time.
Oh, I love that. That's like Tony, my coworker at Doughboys.
Tony, how do you say her last name?
Actually, I'm not 100% sure. I'm really sorry, Tony,
Triste?
if you're listening to this later.
Yo, Tony Triste, yo. How about the other night when the way she was saying ricotta? She was saying ricotta.
Yeah, ricotta.
Dude, not like that, but that was the Welsh pronunciation.
No.
Because Sarah's Welsh.
Yeah, amongst other things, but.
From the land of corgis.
Oh, corgis are so cute. Should we talk about the royal family shakeup?
I wish I understood it. Did they break out?
Well,
are they starting their own club?
They're still part of it. So they're keeping their titles Duke and Duchess of Sussex, which is a really fun thing to say. Duchess of Sussex.
What?
Duchess of Sussex is a fun thing to say. Say it.
Duchess of Sussex.
Right? It's a tongue twister.
Duchess of Sussex.
Yes. But basically what they did is they can no longer be called Your Royal Highness anymore.
Oh.
But they can still be called their names.
They don't want to be?
No,
What happened? Can you explain it?
The British press and people really put that woman through the ringer, Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Right.
After she was the darling for a second, there was a definite backlash that turned racial a lot of the time, too.
Oh, I saw. But aren't there a lot of people around here that would say, oh, Meghan Markle, quit being so sensitive? Don't you think? Around,
maybe around but there's an intense amount of scrutiny.
Where we live, maybe?
Yeah, probably true. I'm not going to argue with that. Should we turn the light back off again?
Yeah.
Okay.
This dude is chilling right here, and we're fixing it. There we go.
Sorry.
Better? Good? Yeah. Good. Yeah, he's happy. His name's His name's Richard.
I don't like the overhead lighting, though, is not great.
It's horrible. This dude has like the most amazing. Do you see? I'd say Jason Hazel has best hair in Bluffton, but whoever this dude is right here.
Good hair.
Yeah, and then I would say Clark
Dude
Hummel.
with the good hair.
I would say Clark Hummel's hair is like somewhere around like, I don't know, like in the 47, 48 out of 100.
He has the best hat hair, though.
He has homeless hat hair.
Homeless hat hair. Clark told us this morning.
It looks amazing, though.
Supporter of the podcast, Clark Hummel, told us about his hat today.
Hummel, how do you get in touch with Clark?
How do I get in touch with Clark?
No.
I text him because I have his phone number.
No, not you. No, this isn't. Today is the day. Sarah is trying to make everything about Sarah.
You're only laughing because that's 100% never true. But
I know. I wish it were, though. I wish you were more like me.
that is something you would say, isn't it?
I wish you were more like me.
But do you want to continue?
Yeah, let's talk about identity.
Well, I was going to actually talk about the president thing again.
Markle? President Markle?
No. So
Don't interrupt us, ma'am.
You can't be president until you're 35.
Right.
And I desperately, on my 35th birthday in 2021, want to have a presidential-themed birthday party. So you can come to the birthday party dressed as anyone from presidential history. You could be Gary Hart and bring someone.
Well, I want to be Chuck Norris.
Bring Heidi Fleiss.
I'll be Chuck Norris.
Okay, you have to be able to. If you're someone who's outside the scope, though.
No.
You have to be able to back up why you're dressed as that person.
Yeah, but don't you remember when Chuck Norris was president?
Just in our podcast. I would allow you to do that just because it's a joke.
Oh, it's a YOPO. What if you could also just dress up as your favorite YOPO reference in 2022 at your birthday party?
Sure.
If this podcast almost it's barely making it today. We're barely Go ahead, yeah.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. But the reason I want to do that is because when I was a kid, I was obsessed with the presidents. I knew
You ready to hear this?
I knew how to recite the presidents backwards and forwards.
Monroe, Jackson, Beer, and Tyler Polk, Taylor, Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan, Lincoln, Johnson, Grant, Hayden.
That's awesome. How did you learn how to do that?
I only know about half.
Oh, okay.
That was pretty good, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, how do you do it
Carol
so fast?
Alberto. Carol Alberto.
Is that your teacher?
Yeah, dude. What's up, Carol? Hey. She sat on my lap at a silicone show at Corks because we were sitting down doing our acoustic show at the busiest night Corks has ever had in its existence. Sorry, new owners. You're wrong. That night they ran out of beer. They pretty much ran out of water.
I guess they aren't going to sponsor.
No, they're not.
Actually, I was going through my phone yesterday and trying to delete old pictures, and I found proof that I had been to one Silicone Sister show at Poseidon.
Oh.
Because it was a picture of me and Brad Davis in his Silicone Sister.
Was he doing the pinky? He always does the pinky.
I don't know.
Instead of horns up, he's a pinkies up kind of guy.
Interesting. Just like you when you drink a bottled beer.
I do.
You do.
That is an interesting point, an interesting fact about me. And if anyone else out there has seen me do that, when I drink anything in a bottle, I do kind of like the Duchess of Sussex.
Yeah.
Probably drinks her tea.
Do you think that's part of your identity?
I would say...
Not really.
I don't do that intentionally, but I do. I think the best thing you said today, and the only thing I'm going to take away from today so far...
Ouch.
...is do we manipulate... Well, you said we manipulate our identity around other people as we see fit, I think is what you said.
Yeah.
So, and that's the reason that we were reluctant.
That's the reason God made Oklahoma.
What?
Have you never heard that song before?
Is it the
Tanya Tucker?
Oh, I thought it was.
I think it is.
I thought you were doing From the Show, Oklahoma, which my brother Gavin has done several times on Hilton Head.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
In the Pit.
Oh my God.
Gavin
Rodgers
and Dave.
I'm a big Rodgers and Hammerstein person. That's another thing that is part of my identity for sure is musical theater.
Did you know Hammerstein's going on tour soon?
Rammstein? Are you talking about Rammstein?
Yeah. Du hast.
Du hast.
How did that song, why?
Well, it's kind of the same as, what is that other band? Prodigy.
Oh.
Smack My...
Yeah, but they have Smack My Bitch Up.
Yeah.
Smack My Bitch. Yeah, but they have a couple songs. Here, I'll do the cover of that song. Ready? Was that a good cover? Because you know how you say
Yeah.
you don't like people's covers? I do good covers. Instrumental.
Because you're a musician. You can
here we go. No, we're not doing this.
But you can accurately, like,
Play the
get
keyboard.
the point across.
Play the keyboard.
Some people
play the saxophone.
Some people don't have a good enough grasp of music to be able to accurately portray what the song sounds like.
Right.
And that's my problem.
Didn't we
with it.
talk about Thriller? Did we talk about that on the first podcast about when kids used to say, "Hey man, can you play Thriller on the drums?" Because a kid got a drum set for Christmas. I think it was actually John Howerton. What's up, John? Hey man, I've been following you on Facebook. What's up? He said to my brother, I think, in the McCracken cafeteria, "Can you play Thriller?" He was like, "You know how it goes." And he started, but that's not it though.
Right. But that's tough because I think people do really latch on to
Melodies.
just the melody.
Melodies and
But
what
that's,
and right.
makes sense.
Of course it does. That's all we have, and that's all we have in the world is moms and melodies.
Moms and melodies.
Mom, I love you, Mom.
That's our next podcast.
Yeah, that's YOPO. That's YOPO 5. I love you, Mom, and I love you somewhere over the rainbow.
Aww.
And I love you, Rainbow Connection, and I love you any song with the word rainbow in it.
Do you like Rainbow by Casey Musgraves?
Yeah, but see, I can't get Slow Burn
Out of your head?
Well, yeah.
Would you say it's a slow burn?
Yeah, it is.
For sure.
Is it a bop? Isn't a
I'm
bop?
I have to go listen to that album after this now.
Man, I don't know if I could sing Rainbow right now, but I could do this one. You can have your way.
Space Cowboy, I think, is probably my favorite on that album.
I don't want to fence you in. Her voice is so... See,
Here, but it is produced.
it's process. It's got to be...
Yeah.
I mean, a compressor works amazing. A compressor is like putting on really expensive shea butter on on your face, and then when people say, like, "Man, your face looks amazing," well, I have an inch of shea butter on it.
Yeah, that would make
Real.
your face not... That would make your skin not nice, though.
Shea butter?
Having, like, too much moisturizer on your face has the opposite effect of making it look good.
Yeah.
But...
Yoko Ono didn't wear any. She didn't need any.
no, her skin was smooth as silk.
God, like her voice.
You see, folks, that's a funny joke because listen to any Yoko Ono song and you will not think that.
Whoa. The best thing she ever did was Rock and Roll Circus with Julian Lennon. Not Julian Lennon. Remember Julian Lennon's song? With John Lennon, Keith
Hey, Jude.
Richards, and
Ooh.
we're getting some
Crackles.
weird here.
Crackles.
It's this. It's static. It's cold outside. Before we talk about identity really quickly, it was 39 when I walked in
I
here today.
know. Thankfully, I'm actually getting better at looking what the temperature is outside. And also, thankfully, I'm staying at my sister's house this weekend, watching her dog and cat.
Clark.
Clark the
What's
dog.
the cat's name?
Pepper. And she has more clothes than anyone I know.
Your sister.
Yeah, because I don't know Meghan Markle, so.
Or Elton John.
Or Elton John. But my sister has a lot of clothes, so I was like, ooh, she's going to have a dope sweater I can borrow. So I borrowed this sweater from her.
That's a Dopo sweater.
It's a Dopo sweater. That always reminds me of Doppio, though, the espresso,
Yeah.
which Thank you to The Grind, our sponsor.
Does the word espresso, can it have an X in it sometimes?
No.
It can't.
No.
Okay, guys, quit saying the X. Dad, talking to you.
Your dad says espresso?
Oh, God. You know what else he says? I think we've talked about this.
What?
Diabetes.
Oh, like Wilford Brimley?
Does he say that?
Yeah, but that's...
I got the diabetes. It's a joke, right?
Does your dad have diabetes?
I think he might have diabetes as a result of the medication he's on or something. Or maybe it's all those McDonald's filet of fishes that he eats. Filet of fish that he eats. I'm sorry.
Did we talk about this in real life or on the podcast?
You can say fishes. You can say fishes, though.
It's fillets of fish, though, would be the proper thing to say.
But you can say, look at the fishes in the pond.
Yeah, it's not like deer. That's just both singular and plural.
Or giraffe.
Or moose.
You can, I think...
Giraffes, I think, is correct.
I think some of them you can say both. Some of them you can say both ways.
Well...
Anyway, let's talk about this identity thing.
Sure. Part of my identity,
I'm trying to really...
unfortunately, is correcting people.
Well, that's become... What in the world? I think that's always... I think the minute... I remember 6th grade or 7th grade, I thought to myself, wow, this world can be evil. This world can be pretty harsh. Like going to... Because I rode the bus from Hilton Head to Bluffton, and I didn't ride it for very long because I was too much of a wimp. But this one kid put gum like right in the center. You know how in the center of your head, I mean, are we all like this? There's a center where all the hair kind of starts to, you can see it on her. It spirals out.
Dogs have the same thing.
They do?
Like a
Is it like a master cowlick? Where's your master cowlick?
I have a cowlick in my bangs.
I have one here. This kid took gum and put it right in the thing, and I will always remember this dude. Thanks a lot, bro. I can't remember your name though. He was like he was big. He was one of those kids that like he was a grown man in like 7th grade. You know what I mean? Scary, dude. You're scary. You're scaring me right now. No, there's no one here.
I had a kind of similar experience. I wouldn't have called her a bully, but a girl that I was friends with in 5th grade slapped me and had long fingernails and scratched my face. Whoa. And at that time, even then I knew it's because she had some sort of like weird jealousy issue.
But that's normal.
Slapping someone in the face and scratching them?
Oh, so people think it's funny. Like, hey, we see you over there laughing at us. Okay, you think it's funny? We're doing a podcast. We have a sponsor now, so laugh it up.
We're laughing straight to the bank.
Laugh it up over there. We're getting rich off this podcast. Hey, we could buy you coffee for life off our sponsor. Yeah, we're talking to you. Yeah. See these boots? I just bought them off our Advance, and they're really. I forget.
The boots themselves cost the entire amount of the sponsorship.
Right.
I bought Fry boots with the sponsorship.
Listen, what'd you get off there? Well, I rushed out, and instead of buying a house for my mom, which I should have, which is what Kevin Garnett would have done, I bought. Kevin
Garnett. That's an interesting.
He's in a movie with Sandler now.
Oh, was he in Uncut Gems? Or a different movie?
No, the new one.
The one that like has gotten a lot of good
reviews? I don't know if it's gotten any good reviews.
You are talking about like the serious movie.
The new movie where Adam Sandler was in the trunk of a car.
I think that's Uncut Gems.
I think it is
I haven't seen it, but my nephew is in film school in North Carolina and he really liked it. So.
Huh.
That's part of his identity.
I think when you go to school and you're wearing, like we used to rotate sweatpants or corduroys. This is where we were. And I can remember like going to school and then kids were saying like stuff like, oh man, this dude, long-haired dude, Javin wears sweatpants all the time. So, and then
And that was like their source of like trying to hurt your feelings?
They did hurt my feelings, man. The sweatpants were like, God, sweatpants at school? Dude.
Yeah. I don't like wearing sweatpants in public, but that's like 30 plus me, you know. Kids should be able to wear whatever they want. But that's why the uniform thing is
an equalizer?
The great equalizer.
I don't know, but still there's more expensive. There's more expensive, better, like 400 thread count shirts that J-Lo sent your kid.
That is a very weird reference, but I mean, like you could wear nicer shoes or
socks, gold toe.
You can tell when someone has spent money on like a nicer haircut,
nicer shea butter for their skin.
But a lot of that is, it's all going back to the empathy thing, though. Some kids have it and some kids don't, and some kids are worried about having it because of how other people will react to that. And I think that's a lot of what identity is in general.
I think there's some kids that are that they. Sarah just made sure we were recording. I think there's some kids that are more self-conscious early on in life, and
Definitely.
I was not. You know, my mom always used to say stuff like, "We're the coolest family, and we're so cool, and everybody wants to be like us," and all this kind of stuff, and like, you know, that helped me get through some. I mean, I didn't really have confidence issues, but when the dudes like punched me in the stomach or whatever one time, it only happened once. But I mean, you know, it's good to hear that. It's good for a parent to tell the kid, what is going on? They're like rolling out the rug for this girl, the one who was laughing at us.
They're going to roll somebody up in that?
Roll me up and smoke me when I die.
Ooh, Willie. Not a YOPO goes by without a Willie Nelson reference.
No way, man.
Never. February 11th, counting down the days.
Oh, crud. I want to go.
Buy a ticket.
Man, smell that.
It's roasting. But it smells like roasting coffee and also sausage. Because I think they just made a burrito with sausage in it.
Nothing like that. Can I have, what flavor coffee would you like?
Could I have a filet of fish burrito?
No, I was going to say like, can I have a sausage cappuccino?
Sausage cappuccino. Just grind it up in there and we'll go from there, you know?
God.
Just make sure there's not. Is your sausage spicy? People always ask me that at Doughboys. Is your sausage spicy? And then they order pepperoni, which is actually spicier than sausage.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like a you had to be there kind of thing.
And then people also always order Italian sausage, and now I just nod my head. I used to just tell them we don't have Italian sausage, and now I just say, okay, sounds good.
I kind of feel like Tony should be the one to. You should defer to Tony.
I should defer to Tony, even though I've worked there for 6 years.
She's so Italian. I called her a Dago, and then you were like, "Whoa, you can't say that." And I was like,
because it's a racial slur.
I know, but I'm Italian. Is it a racial slur?
Yes.
No.
It is.
Dago?
Okay, we can go into this portion of identity and how it's something that's fluid and changes throughout the years, but like
this is important to me, though.
Definitely at some point.
Ethnicity.
Yes.
I love knowing where people are from.
Which is cool, but if they don't identify like that,
right,
then, or they don't want to, then that's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some
like
people
you aren't in control of that.
No, but I've always I enjoy guessing what state people are from at my little gigs.
Would you say not from Ohio?
Yeah, I would say she's from New Jersey. He's from Wisconsin. I've never said she's from North Dakota. You could never say that.
Well, here, no. I mean, it's pretty far from North Dakota.
What's the capital of North Dakota? Is it Pierre?
South Dakota. North Dakota's Bismarck.
Good. I used to know all the capitals too. That was good. See that, Zach Stevens? You can't beat homegirl at a geography off.
No, but see, here's the thing with Zach.
He says he can.
I don't doubt that.
You guys know Zach Stevens is a 19-year-old phenom guitar player around here who's gigs like does grown man gigs and he's 19?
So my thing with that is it's like similar to the show. Have you ever seen the show, Jeff Foxworthy's show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
You know you're a redneck.
You know you're a redneck fifth
if
grader.
You're not smart, if you know how to milk a cow at age, what is fifth grade? Like 9?
10 or 11. You turn 11 in fifth grade usually.
All right, man. All right, get out there. You know what time it is.
But the situation is like when you're a fully grown adult, think of how far away you are from the kind of learning that you do when you're in fifth grade. Like that's not a fair matchup. You know what I mean? Do you understand?
If I don't, does it mean I'm smarter than a fifth grader?
It's an unfair advantage to a fifth grader because they're still like fully
learning.
in that learning style.
Right.
And when you're 35 years old, you're no longer like, oh, Bismarck is the capital of North Dakota.
Well, I mean, it is good to learn new things, though, even if you're 30 years old.
Definitely.
But I just doubt. I like to doubt. I don't know if I like to doubt people. I just like to challenge people.
Sure, to think about things differently.
Or also to say, hey, today's the what did Charlie Brown say or whoever said that? Today's the first day of the rest of your life. Start today.
Sure.
Quit saying you're going to do it. Oh, I'm going to do it January 1st or I'm going to do it.
Right.
Just do something today.
That's different. I mean, I think we do, by nature anyway, do that.
You think so? Like
Yeah.
what?
You have to do something new every day.
Like what?
You can't do something exactly the same day after day after day.
No,
Although
I mean,
our brains get down with that.
They do. We're creatures of what?
Habit.
I was going to say
I told you about that
creatures of
book I was
comfort.
reading about habits and how we go insane if we don't establish some sort of habit in our brain because habits quiet our brain and make it work on not such a high level all the time, which you need in order to continue thinking on a high level.
Oh.
But in order to like do something physical, like brush your teeth or take a shower, do stuff like that, we have to kind of operate on a lower level.
Yeah, well, I know that recently my comfort level has been off. And sometimes it makes things that I would normally do without thinking, like drink water or stuff like that. I haven't been doing that, and I need to get back to doing like water.
And I told you that yesterday too. I was like, I need to rebalance my life because a lot of that stuff, like you said, should just be a natural part of your life. And if you're thinking too much in a different headspace, that can really mess with that for sure.
Yeah. It's part of our identity, what we do. Part of our identity is who we think we are, and then who do you think we are?
Yeah, that's very interesting to think about.
Yeah.
Because
that's all that id, super id, right?
Yeah.
Who we think we are.
Right.
Who you think we are. And then what's the third one?
I don't know much about Freudian
who
psychology.
we really are?
Yeah, but
who knows who we really are?
Right, that's true though.
You're defined by the mirror and your peers.
It's we talked a little bit about this as well. It's similar to memory in that what we think we remember is not truly what happened ever. And so I think
because
that
we begin to manipulate it as soon as it's a memory.
Oh yeah, big time. Which is a really weird thing to think about, but
I'm manipulating what I just remember from you saying that right now.
yeah.
No, not really. No, I know what you mean, though. I think as time goes by, like 10 years goes by, and I think, or 30, or now it's been 40 years since I surfed at Rappoon Bay in St. Thomas, the Virgin Islands. You know, we would go down there with our surfboards that somebody gave us in the St. Thomas, and apparently when we learned to surf at this place, we would wear jeans and sneakers, but there's no pictures of that.
Right.
So, Jan Hunter, Mikey Savage or Todd Savage, Gavin, Daly, otherwise known as Gnarly Gav. Did we actually ever do that, or did that? I think also you can dream something and it can.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I've often thought about things like that where I can't figure out if something happened in a dream or if it actually happened in my real life.
Hey out there, hey listener, have you had a dream? Today's a good day to talk about dreams because it's
having a dream. Yeah,
Martin Luther King Jr. Day. But did something ever happen in your life and then later on you had a dream about it and then you thought, what actually happened? I don't know anymore because it gets blurry.
Yes. So I'm going to share a quote from a book that I like called The Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. This is actually a really good quote on identity, I think. I was looking for myself and asking everyone except myself questions which I and only I could answer. It took me a long time and much painful boomeranging of my expectations to achieve a realization everyone else appears to have been born with, that I am nobody but myself.
It sounds sort of like Seuss too, in a way. Because because sometimes I feel like when I read Dr. Seuss, because I'm more of a Dr. Seuss guy, it seems like a riddle that ends with a loop back to the beginning. Like you really don't know.
But I think that's kind of the point is if you're constantly looking outside of yourself for the answers,
all you're going to get is
you're not really going to get to the answer.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well. As someone who's done a lot of soul searching lately, I can tell you that if you just get up at 4 a.m. randomly and let your brain go for it, you might get some answers. I don't know. I think I have. I think I've learned some things about myself at age 47 that if someone was telling me, I'd probably tell them like, hey, shut up, but I can't tell my brain to shut up.
Sure. I think that doing the whole trying hard not to do something is probably what the most dangerous game and why we ultimately can't shut that off. So the brain works the same way. If you're constantly trying to make sure that you're not thinking about something, that's exactly what you're going to be thinking about.
Oh, God. I know, yeah.
But there are people that come in and out of your life to build your identity as well. And so when someone who's a really vital part of your life all of a sudden is not there anymore, that's definitely got to reevaluate some things for sure.
Well, I mean,
whether it's a breakup, losing a loved one, or being estranged from a loved one.
Yeah. But I think you also have to kind of say, thank you for influencing my life. And then later on, you can process why that... Sometimes you can process why that person isn't a part of your life anymore. And that can sting a little bit,
Definitely. But I think what we talked about in the last podcast was trying to be at least semi-productive with your thought process. Sometimes you just got to shut it off. Sometimes I just have to tell myself, you know what? You're not in a great place today, but tomorrow's a new day. Sleep always does wonders to get you back on at least a little bit of a better footing, I feel like.
What if you can't sleep, though? Then you got to hit them CBDs from Burke's Pharmacy.
Burke's Pharmacy. Check them out on Hilton Head on Main Street.
I heard a rumor that they will be doing in-house production of their CBD?
I also heard a rumor that they're going to be doing in-house production of
YOPO. Do-do-do-do-do, YOPO. What do you guys think of the theme song? Do you want to send us a comment? Sandra counts.
Would you like to know more about
post-production of the theme song?
Would you like to hear a different genre of the theme song?
Ah, yes.
We were talking today with
Witch
Clark
House.
Hummel.
What about a Witch House version? Do you like Witch House music?
I don't know what that is.
It's like this. It'd be like, here, I'll do it real quick.
It's like Gregorian chants and industrial music mixed together.
Kind of, but it's a lot of times it's chopped and screwed too. Are you a fan of chopped and screwed out there, YOPOers? Are they YOPOers? Our fans? Do we have fans? We have like 68, I think. I feel like.
Well, we'll see.
Maybe our fans are 68 to 72, and if you are, head on down to Burke's Pharmacy.
I feel like we actually have a wide variety of ages that listen to us. Because you have a wide variety of fans.
Yeah. 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 I think we both do.
Yeah. Mine are a lot of people that I know now or...
That you know, Po?
That I know, Po. Do, 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 know, Po. Yeah. We're a little bit off topic, but that's okay.
Does music influence your identity? Yes.
Oh, definitely.
I think the music you listen to. What about your hairstyle? What about if you have bangs?
I don't think the bang thing so much. I think people that's a more external thing. So people maybe assume something.
Like if you want to like those dudes that those guys that have somebody with helmet hair. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, they used to have like those dudes who would like brush their hair all the time with a comb, but they had helmet hair, but they had that over the ear kind of feathered look. Dude,
yeah, like Sean Cassidy.
That's cool though. Now, it was then.
Yeah, one of my sister's old students has like this really feathered hair now. He goes to school up at Clemson.
Yes.
It's like very feathery on his ears. It's cute though.
It is. It's like, it's just, that's how he likes it. I mean, also, you got to be able to see. You can't have that sheepdog thing going on.
I definitely think the things you like are more likely to influence your internal identity than outward things.
Sports, music.
Yeah, whatever your thing is. And you probably have more than one thing, realistically.
Me?
No, people in general.
Oh, yeah. Well, also, isn't it like fishing, hunting, frisbee?
Sure.
Fishing, hunting, frisbee.
And I think based on the things you like, people assume
things about you right away. Yeah. I think a lot of the times...
Especially if it's something that we don't personally like and we don't understand, then you assume a lot about someone else.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you see someone... I think this is kind of interesting. Like if you see someone... Sometimes I've learned this about myself. Maybe if you see someone with a certain, like a shirt on with a slogan on it, I'm just going to say the slogan. You assume, I don't like that person.
Yep.
But then later on, that could be one of your support squadron.
That's what's kind of, I would say that around here, I struggle with that more than where I moved from.
Yeah, well, that sort of thing can define you, and that is a huge part of people's identity these days. We're not even going to mention what we're talking about. You know what it is. You know what it is. Let them know. You know what it is? It's identity can divide us.
It can. But more accurately, the perception of identity can divide us. And that's what the problem is.
Right. A lot of people out there who might be on this side of the aisle or that side of the aisle, they like planting flowers like me. Mm-hmm. They like supporting dolphins. They like supporting the possum.
Yeah. And those are the kinds of things for sure that unite us. Things that where you've taken out the, not necessarily the, there are always going to be people for or against anything, I think.
Yeah.
But You can find common ground with anyone. I'm confident.
What if you see these beautiful pictures of, no, the egrets, not you, Addie.
We don't need a beautiful picture of Addie because she's right here.
Well, she wouldn't let us take a beautiful picture of her because she doesn't do pictures. But if you want a good latte, or like she actually does little art kind of things.
She always puts hearts in Jevon's. I don't order hot lattes for the most part.
If you want to support, I mean, I think that's something that I always kind of joke around with people is I say, oh, well, you're this and you're this and you're a real tough guy and you have these type of views, but you want a dolphin to swim around in an oil slick? I don't think you do. And then like, whoa, I never said that. That's what
right.
Well, I never said that. So, and I'm not really a tree hugger kind of person. Mm-hmm. I think I care about the environment, but what have I ever done about it?
That's an identity that was put upon people who care about the environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, these little nymphs, wood nymphs. Sprites, I think is what they're called.
Wood sprites, sure.
They're jumping around. They're not doing anything. You never know. They might work for a marketing firm for like a logging business.
Right. I feel like generally activists still have jobs, no matter what political affiliation you have. Unless they're
riding around in a Land Rover supporting Fish, which is a job, by the way.
Fish the band?
Yeah. Oh, I know.
My cousin used to follow Fish.
What kind of car?
A
nice
probably
one?
not hers.
Oh. The thing that cracked me up the most about when I went to see the Grateful Dead was all the nice Pathfinders and Land Rovers.
Well, yeah. I mean, people...
But that's what kids are...
But people naturally become more conservative as they get older. So people who were hippies in the 60s and 70s, likelihood of them still following that path is pretty slim. Because stability is something that people strive for. And I don't think that lifestyle is super
I would say,
stable
a
lot of the time.
No. Well, unless you got that credit card.
Yeah.
Credit. As Andy would say, credit.
Interesting. You should name a kid that, Credit.
There was a boxer named Riddick Bowe, but that's just... I think he got punched pretty hard by Tyson.
Oof. I remember that name for sure. Ooh, are we going to talk about Conor McGregor this weekend?
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about names defining us. Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely names.
We'll talk about
because
Conor
that was
McGregor.
something I struggled with big time as a kid.
Sarah
I was
Joey?
pretty confident as a kid too.
What are you, are you related to a kangaroo? I'm sure a lot of people said that to you.
My issue with it more was that it was a boy's name.
Sarah Joey or just Joey?
Yeah.
Joey.
Because people just called me Sarah when I was a kid.
Sing the song Joey.
You know?
I know you know it. Go ahead.
I don't know it.
Joey. Who did that? It was like a pre-Nirvana it was a girl band from Seattle.
I do love that song. I know what song you're talking about.
It's in this key. Joey.
Is it by
It's not Heart.
Not Till Tuesday either, right?
No. Baby. It's not Sonic Youth, but it's
Concrete Blonde.
Yes. Oh,
that is a good song.
Your Google's not broken today.
No, I've got my computer right on my lap because I want us to be able to hit on some hot tops. What about birth order? How much do you think that contributes to our identity?
Well, what
are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Then I'll tell you if they're wrong. Just kidding. Just kidding.
No, you will today. You think that if you're burn first?
You burn first.
If you burn first, if you're the firstborn, I don't know, but what about the runt, though, that just kills it out there? What about that runt?
Well, I think... I don't know.
What if you got that runt grease?
It's
See,
hard
now I'm doing a Theo Von impersonation. Zach, you feeling it right now? Zach Stevens, what's up? What if you
Fellow
got that?
mesomorph, Theo Von.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
Theo Von?
What?
He's kind of...
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He is a scrawny, tawny lion.
No way,
This is how he would say it. I got that scrawny, tawny lion hair. Dude,
yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with your body type.
Chris D'Elia is trying to creep out of the endomorph phase, but mesomorph is thick. As Bobby Magarossi would say, THICC.
Oh, yeah, that's what I would say, too.
Yeah. What up, Bobby? Bobby and I just played the Trading Post the other night, which was the night Conor McGregor crushed Cowboy Cerrone in 40 seconds. Did you see the highlights?
Which I'm so sorry. Jason Hazel was really excited because there were 2 New Mexicans featured in that fight night. But
dude, one of them got
Cowboy didn't.
He got the cold shoulders.
Well.
He got them cold shoulders. That Irish cream. I can't get out of Theo Von impersonations right now.
It's tough for me. Like Conor McGregor,
got that Irish
I think
cream.
is a terrible person. So it's tough for me to really root for him.
Well, I mean,
that was like when he fought. What's his face? Why can't I ever remember his name? Oh, right, because I hate him.
You hate the other guy you fought?
No, what's Mayweather? Floyd Mayweather. I was like, is it possible to want both people to lose?
That's hilarious.
If so, that's where I'm at.
I hope they both lose.
I mean, they both stood to make millions off of it, so it's not like either of them truly lost.
You know, I think to be a fighter, sort of like what it takes to be a musician, I think you have to have really thick skin, but really thin skin.
Yeah.
So you got to have that. You got to have some of that I'm doing Theo Von again. You got to have some of that THICC, but you got to have some of that THINN too.
Right.
Hey Theo,
well, it makes sense
am I doing
because
good, Theo?
how are you ever going to like improve if you don't?
You got to have thin skin.
If you don't sometimes let those things get to you, for sure.
Every day. I'm gonna quote Mike Kavanaugh. I'm gonna say a word that is now acceptable after. No, I didn't point at you. See, I'm learning. I'm pointing at the sky. I'm proclaiming. You have to eat shit every day to be a good performer.
Oh, yeah. Doubts and Pats.
Right. That's right. And unfortunately for all you Pats fans out there, I guess you're shit out of luck this year for the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, for
aren't
sure.
You?
We're really going into sports more than we have in the past, huh?
Well, I mean...
So it's going to be the Chiefs and it's going to be the 49ers. Yeah.
I think... Tell me if I'm wrong. I think if you're a man, you have to know how to BS about sports a little bit, and if you're a woman that can do it, this is going into some sexism. Sexism.
Oh yeah, I mean this is what's gotten me as far as I've come in life for sure.
Because you are a Bears fan.
I'm a Bears fan, but I can also like
you
dabble in the sports talk.
Well,
mostly because I just pay attention to the news.
Yeah, where do you get your news? Don't say it.
I mean Google.
Oh,
I
you do?
have kind of like Google specific things, but I read the New York Times sometimes, but
oh, I get it. Sometimes I read the Times. I think your phone. Yeah, I did point at you that time. I was pointing at you for a specific. Like your phone tells me a lot about who you are. Like you're very organized.
I'm not always organized, but it does drive me crazy. My sister.
She's saying this as she has all our notes in front of her on the.
She's got.
Thing.
Well, actually, I just pulled up Theo Von.
Oh yeah, definitely not a mesomorph.
Maybe fine, whatever.
No way.
But that's an interesting phones, technology, social media. That is a very interesting thing to think about in reference to identity as well.
Socks. What about guys that wear brightly colored running shoes, like red? Like Craig Coyne has recently started wearing this red pair of running shoes. And also Richie Dreyer on Hilton Head from White Liquor fame and the Beagles fame, who really looks... I'm going to say this right now. Richie, man, you're looking good these days, bro. So that's part of... I was going to go back and start saying I'm not going to say that. Richie, you're looking good, dude. You're looking shredded. You're looking sinewy.
Sinewy.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Jason Hazel, why are you covering up so much these days? You're not showing us the veins anymore.
It's hot. I mean, it's cold right now. He's got to wear a flannel. Jason, I support you in whatever you want to wear. I just realized I have to sub for him at BNI this week, so thanks for the reminder.
I wish I knew what that was.
It's okay if you don't.
Is that some sort of like... Is it like
as much as I really love
clinic?
These asides...
We're getting off topic. All right.
Well, I don't know if I would argue, but...
All right. Yeah, I know. You're right. Sorry,
I want to hear your thoughts on how social media has contributed to how people share their identity with others.
Well,
because I think that
filters.
when Facebook first started, it was one thing for college students, and now it is
For moms.
totally different.
For dads.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook is definitely the older social media. But Instagram, that's very interesting. You know that people filter.
Trevor Harden just sent me a picture of
Oh my
Man
God.
Crush throwback video shoot.
You
Look at my hair.
you look like a baby in that photo.
I kind of look like a mesomorph, though. I kind of look. I mean, I
Yeah.
was
Your
big.
your delts be popping.
But look at we got some classic body types in the background. We got Brad Pitt from the movie where he was Fight Club,
Yeah.
and we got Jean-Claude Van Damme, probably right around Bloodsport.
Is that Bieber in some Calvin Kleins?
It is. Bieber is definitely, I would say, ecto moving into endo.
Clooney.
Uh,
Ooh, and
Yeah.
Hasselhoff, the Hoff.
right,
That's a
and
good
then we
one,
got
too.
Burt Reynolds, and then we got James Dean.
Mm-hmm.
James Dean. James Dean. You know that song? I think social media allows you to create sort of another identity.
Yeah.
Like,
It definitely lets you focus, not focus it, that's not the right word, but
hone in on your strengths.
right.
Yeah, and also a lot of people just hone in on one facet of their interests, and then they get unfollowed by me immediately because I don't want to hear you screaming about something all the time, every day.
Right.
I mean, if you're screaming about a beer, fine, scream all day. I don't care. Favorite beer or favorite place to go or checking in here or checking in there. But man, if you focus in on certain things, I ain't got time for it.
It's really hard because I would argue, again, back to my thought that social media, you think that you're making yourself feel better, but you're really not because it's all external approval. It's not anything that comes from the inside. You're putting something out there in order specifically to get the approval of others.
I hope you get a lot of likes off that post. I don't know if you will. I mean, and then what? And then later on, you're like, I'm just going to delete this post.
But if you do, what does that even mean? What does that mean for you? Because you're constantly going to be chasing that high again and again and again and again and again.
Chasing the dragon of likes, chasing that dragon, them dragon likes.
And ultimately, that doesn't add anything of substance to your identity.
But
Unless
what
you're a
about
comedian.
Instagram? I know, but what about Instagram? I mean, now
What
they
does
took
that
likes
add?
away. Likes are confidence.
It reinterpreted them.
Michael Rappy, shout out. Rappaport up in PA.
It makes you feel good, but
he loves
extremely
likes.
temporarily.
I don't know. What if you did something? What if you started something? What if you started like a thing? And what if you started like a side hustle or something? Like my boy Ryan Baggett.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I am marketing man. He comes up with the best names. God. Low Country Man. Low Country Man, please listen. Low Country Man, you're listening.
You should write a song for him.
I know.
That'd be cool.
I know.
Low Country Man song. But don't make it the Beatles song.
Low Country Man.
Oh, sorry.
It's a weird static. No.
It's because I keep putting the mic too close.
To this?
Yeah.
To this guy?
Mhm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, weird.
That's not it.
Okay.
It's something having to do with
I was willing to take
Connection.
the fault there.
Just can't make no connection. Oh, that's a Keith Richards song.
Keep going, though, on your
Stones.
thought.
I think when you do something and you put a lot of work into it and then you get a lot of likes, you feel better about yourself because or shares, like
Sure.
I think shout outs are cool because you're throwing energy somewhere else.
Right.
Like if you're saying, hey Ryan, your robots are slamming these days.
Yeah.
Or like, maybe one day your robot will be like a transformer that
But how
turns
much-
into a yellow Corvette.
How much do you need to? How much realistically do you need to fill up your own bucket on a daily basis? Because I think that there are people who constantly look for that external
Ooh, the
approval.
roaster. That roaster just shut down.
Yeah. People constantly look for the external approval
Mm-hmm.
and constantly try to fill their own bucket up and are not doing any of the shouting out to anyone else on Facebook.
Well, I want to know what, I want to see when is
Because-
that going to fade? When is that fire going to go out?
And there are studies that show that none of this like makes us any happier as people
Well,
or
that's
more
a good
confident.
point. Is that
So-
why Instagram took likes away?
Yeah, I mean, they really just kind of reconfigured how they work. Now
Yeah,
you
'cause-
still get likes, you just don't get a number
But-
associated with them.
But unless you see thousands of others,
Right.
millions of others, then you're still kind of getting that affirmation. Affirmation?
Yeah.
Daily affirmation? D-A-L-Y?
Daily. Oh, what's your daily affirmation going to be today?
I think you should strive for likes, but I don't think you should let it define your identity.
Sometimes I love looking back at like funny things I've said in the past and funny things I've observed. And it's never because I think, oh man, this got 100 likes from people. It's just because I think it's still funny. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I know that inside jokes don't get a lot of likes. Pictures of my mother get a lot of likes.
Mm-hmm.
My mother passed away. It's
Right, but
it's
that's
gonna-
also crass and like not organic or authentic because you know all of those things to be true. You know what I mean?
This is where it gets it. I think. Well, I think we've entered into a new. It's a whole new frontier out there with sponsored ads because now they finally, like, the Zuck has sucked us all in, and we all love connecting with people.
Or I'll use air quotes on that, connecting.
Right, because we're really only seeing the best.
But on Facebook, the battleground is really, like we were talking about earlier, more based on like transactions than anything else a lot of the time now. I told you, what do I do when people friend me on Facebook? I ask myself 3 questions.
Oh,
1, do I know them?
yeah.
2, are they trying to sell me something? And 3, is it a creepy guy?
I think being a woman though is different because I think women got it. I think women have it harder out there than we do. Even though women are smarter and It's a Man's World is all about women. Both those songs are well written songs because women have a lot of power, out there. I mean,
Women are superior. What is the line from your song?
Statistically speaking,
Women are superior in many ways.
Like,
Which I always change to in every way, but
right. Courtney Dahlwalter's out there winning. She just won this race out in Moab, 220-mile race, and she beat all the men.
super marathoner? Is that what they call
Ultra.
this? Ultra marathon.
This is the ultra marathon of all. This is the problem. It's the daddy of all ultras.
Yeah.
Why not call it the mommy of all ultras?
That's
the
what they
mom
call
is,
it?
No, I'm just saying, like,
Oh, you were about to say that.
ships and guitars are all named after what?
Women.
Right, but it's the daddy of all ultras. It's not the mommy.
Yeah.
And the mommy typically, even though I was a stay-at-home mommy,
Or dad.
right?
You're Mr. Mom.
Sure, I was.
Talk about a movie that would not have any salience in present day.
Michael Keaton, thank you for listening. He sent me a message.
Michael Keaton?
No, he didn't.
I love Michael Keaton.
Who was the best Batman?
Definitely not. See, I don't think I'm going to say something. This is my hot take of the
What
day.
about Batwoman, though?
Here's my hot take of the day. I do not think that the Tim Burton Batman holds water now against the new Batman movies.
Holds water?
Yeah, I just don't think it stands up to the test of time.
the sands.
People will come for me for saying that, but I've watched it like in the last probably 5 years, I just don't.
I don't even know what you're talking about because I think
Michael Keaton was the Tim Burton Batman.
Okay, I've seen the Michael Keaton Batman and I've seen the Christopher Gale. Oh, Christopher. This gets us back to
Wait, what?
What's his name?
Christian Bale. Oh my God, Christopher Gale.
Oh my God, bail me out.
That's like the Christopher.
This is how my brain works.
And I will take back in a couple episodes before this one, I said Judah Friedberger. It's actually Judah Friedlander. So I'm going to go ahead and fact check myself.
Pretty funny.
Yeah. We need a fact checker. Maybe Clark could do that.
No, people have definitely done it. Are we gonna answer one of we're a little over here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's answer one of our listeners' questions, which the only person who sent us anything was
Sandra. Thank you, Sandra. Sorry about Clemson losing.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to answer as many of these questions as fast as we can.
Oh, my gosh.
And then we're going to be done. So can you find that really quickly?
Yeah. This is a lot of pressure, though. I should have pulled it up earlier.
No. It's fine. It's fine. We're good. Sandra. I almost called her Sarah. All right, here's what we're going to do, guys.
Oh, here you are, Sandra.
Oh, God, I got to get through all this.
Sandra's last message for me said, save it for the podcast.
Right.
Love it.
I got to get through all this. You should do a reggae version of your Shark song, which I was upset. Okay, ready? Here we go. Let's go for it. We'll both answer as quick as we can.
Why don't you just pick a couple questions?
How many tattoos do you have?
I don't have any.
I have 2.
I'm not afraid of the pain, afraid of the permanence.
Is there a message for the podcast? Format. Are you guys always going to... Oh, boy. I think your dad is interesting. What's up with his love life?
Ooh, yes.
Jeez.
But it's not because she's interested. Sandra's happily married.
Right. What are the most distracting things listeners do in the audience when you're performing?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think that's the best part of the performance sometimes. Especially like when we're kind of performing in here and when people laugh, I think it does something. It manipulates the identity of our podcast in a way.
Yeah, but it's a fun vibe. And I don't think either of us really care a whole lot that people
There's
think
some love
we're
life
weird.
things. We're just going to scroll past that. What's your favorite car you've ever owned? I know mine.
Oh, what's yours?
Country Squire station wagon that could fit 13 people in it.
Dang. Didn't you love that, though? Station wagons and minivans, you could take the seats out and like put like a pallet in the back.
Mine had
so good.
Rumbler. Are they called Rumbler seats?
In the back part.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not kidding.
Love those too.
I'm not kidding here. I'm not kidding.
My aunt, we never had a station wagon growing up. We were a minivan fam. But my aunt and uncle always had one.
A minivan?
No, a station
Country
wagon.
Squire. Or a station wagon.
Was that the one? Did it have wood sides?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
It did.
I love it.
After a while, mine, the reverse would not work, so I had to strategically park in places where I could always go forward, which is sort of define the identity of that station wagon. Is there a website where people can see our merch? Well, guess what? We're coming out with merch soon, YOPO.
Yeah, and so that's a good question, though. Is there a centralized location where people can purchase Jevon Daly imprints?
Well, I don't really think that this is a Jevon Daly thing. I think this is a YOPO thing. I think
but I think that naturally it will.
Yeah, it bleeds.
Yes, exactly.
Hit me up on Instagram. Do you know how to send a DM or what that is? Favorite vacation, favorite food, pet peeves. Oh, God, pet peeves, that would take all day. Best prank. I think my best prank is saying things to someone in a safe space and having them just tear me apart for it and then say, hey, I was just kidding.
I didn't ever tell you I was just kidding
I
earlier.
know. Oh, I know. Funny things your kids said or pronounced wrong when they were young. Well, don't we all pronounce things wrong these days, Mrs. Friedberger?
No, that's not pronounced wrong. That's the wrong name.
Favorite book or author?
My favorite author is Joan Didion. Actually, that's a good segue because I was reading On Self-Respect again last night, and it almost brought me to tears. Check out Joan Didion's Self-Respect if you can. It's very moving and talks about having self-respect and character and what that means to you as a person. I won't read it, but...
I think my favorite author is
Dr.
Charles
Seuss.
Bukowski. Read the book Post Office. That's it, guys.
And remember, no one is better.
Than anyone. I know.
Is that our daily affirmation? Is that always our daily affirmation?
I mean, it should be.
Especially after all that talk about likes and social media and all of that.
That's
it can
right.
be a great way to connect with people. It can also be kind of insidious.
I'm going to have to look up that word on Bing.
Our Bing's broken today.
All right.
We'll catch you next time.
I feel like you one-upped me at the end of this podcast. See ya.